Being good stewards of the land is something we take with the highest priority. This is where we live.
It's important for me to be part of this farm because I love this area. This is the greatest place in the world.
And we want to protect that in a sustainable manner for future generations. We're here at Blue Mountain Farms, which is near Milford, Utah. This farm is owned by Four Farms, which is a subsidiary of Murphy Brown, part of the Smithfield family. This farm houses 21,000 feeder-to-finish animals. We ship about 55,000 animals from this farm to market each year. Milford is located at about 5,500 feet above sea level, so we're kind of a high desert in southern Utah. All of our water comes from the mountains, which then percolates down through the aquifers, and then we're able to pump the water to water our hogs.
One look at Blue Mountain Farms tells you it's not the typical setting for a hog farm, with its namesake mountain range looming nearby. The dry climate also differs from other parts of the country, making water conservation a critical element of production in this area. And along with the wide open spaces comes room for the farm's 10 naturally ventilated barns, which also allow for another unusual element to Blue Mountain Farms.
This farm also uses a unique waste collection system as part of the Blue Mountain Biogas, which is owned by Alpental Energy Partners.
Manure from shallow pits under the 10 barns is flushed into anaerobic digesters.
Alpental Energy Partners approached us several years ago about creating a manure to energy project, and we came up with this project, which takes the manure from 200,000 finishing spaces and digests it in these 2 lagoons.
Bacteria inside the digesters interact with the manure to produce methane, the same highly combustible gas found in natural gas.
So the biogas that is generated from the anaerobic digesters are fed into this facility behind me where 2 Caterpillar engines are run to produce power. There's enough power produced for 3,000 homes, which is 3.2 megawatts.
Not only does the process produce electrical power from manure, but Alpental Energy Partners says using the clean-burning methane to power generators reduces CO2 emissions by the equivalent of 107,000 metric tons per year. While Blue Mountain is out of the ordinary in many ways, there's a lot many hog farmers would recognize, including the individual attention given to every pig.
Well, our daily routine starts early in the morning here. We come in and we walk every alley and jump every pen and check every pig to make sure they're healthy, happy, the water's working, the feed's working right. We have a computer that we check the temperature in the room every day. It gives us a high temperature and a low temperature, so we know that everything's working right overnight.
The shallow pits are flushed weekly with water that's recycled from the lagoons. The lagoons are lined with a high-density polyethylene that exceeds state regulatory guidelines. After the manure goes through the anaerobic digester, the farm takes advantage of its high desert climate to use evaporative basins to dry the manure into solid fertilizer for use on cropland. Odor control efforts include the familiar measures of good washing practices and ventilation in the barns.
We also have made sure that we have paved all of our roads so that dust is eliminated, so that the dust doesn't carry the odor. When we built these farms, made sure that we built them away from populated areas. We're about 20 miles from the closest neighbor at the site.
Along with using environmentally sustainable practices to produce high-quality pork that helps feed the world and generate power for the nearby communities, Blue Mountain Farms also help sustain the economic life of Milford and all of Beaver County.
Met my husband and was able to move into Beaver County area, and it is a place I love. It has been wonderful to be able to raise my children in this hometown environment. Besides that, we are able to offer many jobs here at Four Farms, and so people from this environment can stay here and live where they love. Future generations can build heritage here.
It's important for me to be part of this farm because I love this area. This is the greatest place in the world to raise children, and all my kids still live here in this county, and we love it here. This is the best job you can have in this county.
Blue Mountain also participates in numerous community service projects and outreach efforts to demonstrate the We Care principle of contributing to their local communities.
Being good stewards of the land here at Blue Mountain Farms and Circle Four Farms is something we take with the highest priority. To keep an environment safe, secure for my family to be raised in, my children to grow up in, as well as community members. This is where we live, and we want to continue to live. We're going to do all we can to protect and enhance it.